I'm going to talk about the fourth macronutrition, something we haven't heard yet. Now, we all know there are three macronutrients. One very obvious one, oxygen, something we all need to breathe, and we all need, and we can't go without for a minute, maybe two, maybe three, some people. Then we got another macronutrition, and that's water. We all can go without for about 2 days, I guess. Now we got food, nutrition that you actually eat. Now this is the third macronutrition. Today I'm going to talk about the fourth macronutrition, light. We can't go without it for months, and that's maybe one of the reasons why it's so under-researched. We all know very well how important oxygen is for us. We all know very well how important water and food is. Now, what do we think about light? So light is not just illumination around us. Light is actual, real biological information. Light is physiological nutrition, something that we all need, but we don't really see it as our daily dose. We don't see it as our, let's go out there, go to a restaurant and get some light. We do know that we start to feel a lot better when we go out there, go to the beach, go to the forest, and get and suck up that light. Staying indoors does make you feel miserable. Now, what's that? That's light, biological information given to your body as physiological nutrition. We all think, okay, it doesn't have a weight to it. I somehow doubt that. Maybe not a direct weight that you can put on a scale, but definitely for your body, it has a direct weight to it. Here, the biological clock. I think we all heard about it, right? Biological clock, we fly to the US, and suddenly our biological clock is all messed up. We can't fall asleep at night. We wake up in the morning, all drained, and we go like, oh, I got a jet lag. Now that jet lag is your biological clock. Something that is set, not from the time when you go to bed, but from the time when you wake up. That biological clock, that waking up with the sun, is a reset on your biological clock to say, now let's start the day. It does much more than that. It kicks in the cortisol in the morning, in the afternoon it gives you the energy, and at night it tells you it's time to sleep again. From visual lighting to cellular energy. As you can see here, we all know, we have that sunflower or the flower out there, and we see it flourishing. We see it growing and shining, and it has all that nutrition that it needs. Now, once we put it indoors, we directly know it's missing one thing. Not the nutrition, not the water. It's missing the light. You see it slowly dying. This is exactly what is happening to us. Not that slowly dying, maybe, not directly though, but you would see yourself flourish outside. You're literally plugged in. You're charging yourself with light. Now, a bit about myself. What made me do what I still do 25 years later, after that impactful moment? Something that I would do for the next years of my life. I'm sure until the day I die. This impactful moment all happened around my hero, my granddad. So my granddad, he taught me about coding. He taught me how to do engineering. And literally everything that I am and who I am today and what I can do, I owe directly to my granddad. Now, something very impactful on his life happened. He had a stroke. The stroke directly sitting there in the chair during the day, that stroke was like a reset button on my granddad. He didn't know how to code anymore. He didn't know how to grab something. He couldn't grab something. He wanted to grab it, couldn't grab it. So my hero, my superhero, as you can see on the right side, they're standing there, all lit up full with light, had that reset by a stroke. Now, multiple years later, I'm still engineering. I made a product, an engineering product for a doctor, with the skill sets that I learned from my grandfather. Now, learning that and that device itself, I made it, and the doctor was so impressed, and he said, Ellen, I'm going to go to you, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you in Holland. I want to take you out for dinner, and I want to show you what your device does. He came to Holland, and he saw my granddad sitting there. He said, Ellen, can you please ask your granddad to come? I said, no, nobody touches my granddad. Nobody messes with him. So forget about that. Just leave him. He said, no, Ellen, please, just give me 5 minutes. So 5 minutes of a device that I made, I engineered with the skill set that he taught, made such an impact on my grandfather's life that since that moment, the device that I made, I committed my life to the future of light therapy. Now, it impacted his life so much that seeing this difference from before, not having any light therapy device, treating on him, working with him, and then seeing the difference, what it did after, was just so impactful on my life that I said, okay, this is something I'm going to commit to. Now, a very fancy word, photobiomodulation. Something that maybe some of you heard about. Some of you definitely have seen, either in a gym, a beauty salon, or out there. Photobiomodulation, very obvious, 600 to 1100 nanometers. What it does is, in the drawing there, it is the spark plug for your mitochondria. It delivers that energy, and it directly creates ATP production. Now, ATP production is directly translated into energy in your body. Photobiomodulation, right now, as we talk about it, has more than 8,500 studies showing all the benefits, what it can do, and how it can help you and your surrounding area. Something where we don't talk about on a daily life yet, but definitely it has a daily impact on all of us. The Rainbow Pharmacy. So this is pretty much the basis that we know right now. Very unexplored still, although we have 8,500 studies. I'm showing you here one of the basics that we all know. We got blue light, breaking down bilirubin. Okay, very fancy word, but it's working on jaundice with babies. So if you go to a hospital, we all know the best and most effective treatment is treating that baby that has jaundice, directly treating it with a blue light. Another one, we got the red and infrared light. So red and infrared light, what it does, it recovers not just muscles or tissue, also your collagen. So directly impactful for your skin, looking younger, creating that pain recovery, maybe a back pain or a shoulder pain. Definitely stimulates recovery for muscles. So we got the red and the infrared. And then we got the infrared itself. Something that goes a little bit deeper into your body. So red is about 2 centimeters. Now infrared goes even deeper, all the way to your brain. Something that is used and researched right now in studies for Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Now, we got the indoor epidemic. I'm guilty of it as well. 90% of our lives we're spending indoors. Well, we're built and made to be out there. 90% of your life, we're filtering through windows and doors that are made not just to create and bring those beneficial lights indoor, but literally to filter them out. We're all guilty of it, of saying, okay, it's getting hot in here. Oh, I wish we had the air conditioning on, or it had a filter. We're sticking now UV and infrared filters on our windows to make sure that we don't get that light anymore. So we're getting less and less beneficial light. And that beneficial light is literally the source code of our body. It's literally telling us, In the morning, wake up, turn on that cortisol, because that's the first thing you're going to see, is when you measure the changes on your body, waking up with light, is that cortisol kicking in the morning. That's like, oh, we want to go out there. It gives a bit of a urge, a waking up. Then in the afternoon, we got all that energy, a full spectrum. Now, knowing that you got that cortisol kicked in the morning, you're also directly protected. You're protecting yourself. You're stimulating the SPF protection. So waking up with the sunlight actually protects you for the later afternoon, the UV light. Now, we all wake up with this artificial light. It doesn't do to your body what the sun does to you outdoors. Now, afternoon, we're getting that UV light. We're not protected for it in the right way. We can't stand that light because we don't wake up in the morning with the right light. So we're getting less of that information. We're literally mixed up. We're biologically confused. It's like how you would interpret a jet lag during flying to the US. We're all jet lagged. Now you go in the evening hours. That's when those phones pop out. All that artificial blue light that you get, the cortisol that you have in the morning, kicks in the evening. A very, very different rhythm. So what we see in the morning in the sun, we're now kicking in the evening hours when we should produce that melanin. Once you change your lighting to not blue but red, your body is going to tell itself, okay, I need to increase that melanin production. More of that melanin production and you sleep smooth, super smooth. You don't have that feeling of cortisol anymore. You're producing melanin, you fall asleep with the sunset, and then you wake up with a new fresh day. That's how the sun works, at least. Now, we all question, we all know your food diet, the nutrition factors, the different type of nutrition that we need. Now, I believe we should be introducing the light diet. Now, what kind of light environment are we living in? Have we ever questioned that? Have we ever questioned? Because we do question. When we're sitting there and we eat a dinner, we do question like, is this healthy for us? Should I be eating this? But have we ever put to mind where we say, what kind of light environment are we living in? Because when you're breathing, you go like, oh, it's smoked outside. I should be breathing in fresh, healthy air. Food, we all know, yes. But then light, have we ever put a question there? So the food pyramid, we all know the food pyramid starts with the sugars, take less of those, and it goes all the way down to the wheats and the breads and the rice and so on. Now, if we take any of these particular food ingredients, either if it is all day, every day, eat rice, we know it's not going to be healthy. All day, every day, eat sugars, we know it's not going to be healthy. So we have a mixed variety of food that we advise and we teach our children. Now, this is how we see light. Light, right now, as we see it, is the more efficiency is the better lighting. So let me explain that. Our eyes are not made to get a lot of blue light. So with very little blue light, we can see a lot because we're super sensitive to it. So the more blue we put in our living room, the better we're going to see with the least amount of energy. So yes, as you see, the top one there obviously is more blue. If I would take this and I would translate it to this, it's like saying sugar. Yes, you might need that for that sprint. When I go and I'm running, I need a bit of sugar maybe. I need some energy. But saying that you need that all day long, does that translate into a healthy diet? being on sugar all day long, from morning till evening? No. So we do understand that part. But then why do we translate it differently when it comes to our daily light nutrition? I do see light as a fourth macronutrition. Here, I'm giving you an example of what I think it should be. This is what it should look like. Our light diet. Starting with UV at the top, going all the way down to infrared at the bottom. Exactly like you would see sugar at the top, just that little bit. You need it. You need that UV for your vitamin D, healthy bones, and so on. But then going down all the way to infrared, you need that stimulation. Something that is filtered now by your windows in your office. So here I compare food, light diet, and the energy level as we have it. Now, if I would have had the light diet as I see it, and I put it in a light bulb, where do you think I would have been ended up on the energy level? All the way at the bottom. Even retailers would have refused to sell me. Seeing that I'm totally not energy efficient, I'm adding infrared light, a light source that your eyes can't see, into a light bulb. It's like saying I'm adding nutrition in there that is not gonna make me sprint faster. Directly, we do understand it. A sugar-only diet is not something that we should be eating every day, day in and day out. Though, for your light bulb, we are still considering it that way. Thank you very much. I do wish we all see light a little bit different than on and off switch. Thank you, and I wish you all a great day.